Good morning, class. Today's my topic of presentation is care of an unconscious patient. So, an unconscious patient means the patient who is not able to do his daily activities, not able to eat, not able to void. All right. So, what will be the nursing responsibilities of the patient for the patient? What is consciousness first? So, consciousness is actually it is a state of awareness of yourself or your surroundings. That is, the person is is able to perceive the sensory stimuli and receive the appropriately to them. And unconsciousness means an abnormal state in which the patient is unresponsive, unarousable, or in a coma state. So the degree of consciousness that vary in the length and severity, that is brief and prolonged. Brief means only any kind of fainting, and prolonged means that is deep coma. Causes of unconsciousness can be many, like trauma, epidural hematoma, subdural hematoma, brain contusion, hydrocephalus, stroke, tumor, infection, meningitis, encephalitis, hepatic encephalopathy, drug, alcohol overdose, or poisoning, intoxication. Sign and symptoms. The person will be unresponsive and he doesn't respond to any activity such as sound or any kind of stimulation or any kind of touch, and it is the patient will be unaware of his surrounding, that what is in the surrounding or what is in his path, or does not respond to the sound. It makes no purposeful movement and does not respond to the question or to touch. Drowsiness will be there, and there will be inability to speak or move part or of his or her body, that is loss of bowel or bladder control, incontinence or stupor will be there. Like this is unconscious patient, how to deal with them. Then respiratory changes will be there. There will be kind stroke, respiration, cluster breathing, ataxic breathing, or hyperventilation. Abnormal pupil reactions will be there. Here is the normal pupils which are constrict, and there will be the third cranial nerve lesion, that is loss of consensual pupillary light reflex, and cranial nerve 2 lesion, that is loss of direct pupillary light reflex. For the assessment, what we are going to do, we have go for the GCS, that is E4V5M6, eye or verbal and motor response. We have to go for the vital signs. We have to go for the we have to see the pupil, that is his what is its size and what is its reaction. Is it proper dilating or fixed dilated or unilateral bilateral? Limb movement we have to see, and the tendon reflex we have to see. This is the pupil size chart, where in ICU department we have to go through this, and we have to mark the patient whether what kind of patient is having the pupil size. Next is GCS. As I told you before, that GCS is a scale used to know the severity of the patient, that how much is unconscious. So it is the total score of GCS is 15, and it is the best score actually. And in comatose client it will be 8 or less than 8, and totally unresponsive means 3. So there will be two type of rigidity, that is decorticate and decerebrate positions will be there when you see an unconscious patient, that is extension of the posturing and abnormal flexion. For the diagnostic evaluation, we have to go for the chest X-ray, MRI, that is magnetic resonance imaging, tumors, vascular abnormalities, and intracranial bleed. Then for the computerized tomography, that is CT scan, we have to go for it. Cerebral for the cerebral edema, infarction, and hydrocephalus. LP have to go for this for cerebral meningitis or any kind of CSF evaluation. PET we can go for it, EEG and blood test like CBC, LFT, RFT, and ABG, etc. So spinal lead is inserted in between third and fourth lumbar vertebra. That for the spinal anesthesia or this one for the CSF updation we have to go for this, and MRI we can go for it. Then the complication of immobility, that is skin, the pressure sore can occur, laceration can occur, respiratory hypostatic pneumonia or pulmonary embolism, or CV complication, that is DVT or postal hypotension, thromboembolism will be there. In GI system, paralytic ileus and constipation distancing. urological, UTI or stroke. Then comes this respiratory or CV complication, as I told you. In musculoskeletal, contracture or osteoporosis or dystrophy or weakness will be there. Neurological, foot drop will be there. In psychologically, anxiety or depression may have a complication. In medical management, the goal of medical management are to preserve brain function and prevent further damage. Ventilatory support or oxygen therapy, management of blood pressure, management of fluid balance we have to check. The nurses have to take care of the management of seizures, anti-epileptic, sedatives, paralytic agents. Treating the ICP is very much important, and for that mannitol and corticosteroids to be given. For the temperature, ice packs or tepid sponging. Antipyretics or NSAIDs we have to give. For the management of elimination, if the patient is having constipation, then laxatives has to provide, or suppositories we have to insert. Management of nutrition, that is total parenteral nutrition and rice tube feed we have to give for the patient. DVT prophylaxis is also very important. Now the management of nursing for the unconscious patient, that is in emergency care. So maintain a patent airway, that is airway breathing circulation management we have to go for it, and it results in determining the degree of oxygenation provided by the ventilators or oxygen. Assess for the cough and swallow reflexes. Use of oral artificial airway to maintain patency. Tracheotomy or endotracheal intubation and mechanical ventilation may be necessary. Preventing airway obstruction. Oropharyngeal suction equipment may be necessary to aspirate the secretion. If facial palsy or hemiparalysis is present, the affected side must be kept uppermost. Dentures has to be removed. Nasal and oral care is provided to keep the upper airway free of accumulated secretion debris. Monitoring neurological sign of intervals, determining by their condition and documenting results. Ineffective cerebral tissue perfusion. In this we have to go for the GCS, saturation level, and ABG of the patient. We have to check for the vital signs. If there is an increased temperature, we have to notify the doctor, or we have to go for the mole injection, that is 1 gram or 100 ml. Then head elevation of 30 degrees is to be maintained. Reduce agitation, that is we can prevent it from sedation. Reduce cerebral edema, that is corticosteroid, osmotic or loop diuretics we have to give. Generally peaks within 72 hours after the trauma and subsides gradually. Talk softly and limit touch and stimulation. Administer laxative and antiemetic as ordered. Manage temperature and antipyretics with cooling measures. We have to give ordered Dilantin to prevent the seizure. We have to give mannitol 25 to 50 gram IV bolus of ICP if it is maximum more than 20 or as prescribed. Risk for increase in ICP. Head elevation, as I told you. Pre-oxygenation is mandatory, and insertion of oral airway to suction the secretions, as fluid intake is restricted and glucose is avoided to control the cerebral edema, and intravenous infusion cannot be considered as a nutritional support. Nursing management of the patient with routine care. Intake output we have to maintain. Diuretics we have to prescribe. Overhydration of IV fluids with glucose are always avoided for the comatose patient, and cerebral edema may follow. Skin integrity we have to check. Comfort devices should be used. Positioning should be done, and if the patient is having a bed sore, then we have to go for the special mattress or the air mattress. Patient nails should be kept trimmed. Cornea should be kept moist by instilling methyl cellulose 0.5% to 1%. Protective eye shield can be applied, or eyelids closed with adhesive strips of corneal reflex is absent. Inspect the oral cavity. Keep the lips coated with the water soluble lubricant to prevent the encursion or drying, crackling, or inspect the paralyzed cheek. Nasal passage may get occluded, so that it may be cleaned with the cotton tipped applicator. Proper positioning we have to give. Change the position every 2 hours. Take care to prevent the injury of soft tissues and nerves, edema, and disruption of the bloody supply. Then this is actually an observer, reformer, director, motivator. The nurse should be like this: helper, supporter, and coordinator. Self-care deficit, attending to the hygiene needs of unconscious patient, that is involving the family of the self-care needs. Fingernails and toenails are to be assessed. Chronic illness such as diabetes. Minimum two nurses should bathe an unconscious patient, and turning the patient may block the airway. Hair care should be neglected. In oral hygiene, chlorhexidine based solution is used. Airway should be removed when providing oral care. It should be cleaned and then reinserted. If the patient has an endotracheal tube, the tube should be fixed alternately on each side. Minimum of 4 hourly oral care to reduce the potential of the infection for microorganism. Also, not to damage the gingiva by using excessive force. Eye care is to be done, that is instilling making it not making it wet or dry. In the assessing the eye, observe the sign of irritation, corneal drying, abrasions and edema. Artificial tears also be applied as a drop to help the moisten the eyes. Corneal damage can result if the eye remain open for a longer time. Tape can be used to close the eyes. In the nutrition aid, total parenteral nutrition is to be given. Enteral feed or nasogastric tube is to be given, or PEG tube is to be instilled. Then intravenous fluids and administered for the comatose patient. Risk of injury will be there for a patient, so it may be need an assess for the restraint. We have to go for the restraint policy. Over sedation should be avoided as per the as it impedes the assessment of the level of consciousness and impairs the respiration. Seizures precaution must be taken. Adequate support to limbs and head must be given when moving or turning an unconscious patient. Impaired bowel or bladder functions, we have to go for the stool softener, as I told you before. Catheter care must be provided to avoid any kind of infection. Bundles may be used. Initiate bladder training so that as soon as consciousness has been regained. Then risk of contractures, remove the support devices every 4 hours for passive range of motion exercises and skin care. Foot support or should be provided. In sensory stimulation, brain needs sensory input. Widely believed that hearing in the last sense to go. Talk, explain the patient when what is going on, or upon walking. Many clients remember and will accurately recall even in processes that happen while they will be sleeping unconscious. The nurses should show some respect to the attendant and the patient, and they have to avoid the privacy of the patient and their family. We have to encourage the stimulation by massage or combing or washing their hair, playing music, radio, CD, TV, or reading any kind of book or update with the family news. Impaired family process, that is include the family members in patient care. Communicate frequently with the family members. The family members should be allowed to stay with the patient when and where it is possible. Use external support system like professional counselor, religious, legally, etc. If you have any questions, kindly feel free to ask. Thank you and have a nice day.